Discipleship is nothing less than taking up one's cross to follow Jesus. But what does the cross look like in the realities of your life and mine? What does the cross feel like for a mom or a dad, a spouse, a Christian worker? The cross of Jesus, Jesus' cross, was not an abstract thing, and neither is it abstract in ours. There is a Christian man who is tempted to give up on his marriage. The wounds are so deep, the pain is so intense, the problems seem too tangled and complicated to unravel. He tells me, this marriage is no longer satisfying. It seems far easier to just walk away than to stay and work things out. There is a Christian mother who wants to disown her child. The sorrow of watching him self-destruct, the feeling of rejection, and the weariness of worry has taken their toll. Locking the door, as unbearable as that would be, seems easier than keeping it open. There is a Christian young person who is sorely tempted by lust and tempted to gratify the desires of the flesh. It is so much easier just to give in, he says. There is a Christian pastor who can't wait just to get on down the road and put distance between himself and that ungrateful, cannibalistic flock. Never has he felt so mistreated, chewed up, and spit out. There is a Christian missionary who has already started to pack his bags. These people don't want a hand up, just a hand out, he thinks. We've prayed and we've worked and we've sacrificed and taught, and still all this immaturity. It's so discouraging. We're wasting our time. See, we live in a day where Christians are finding it difficult to see the connections between the cross of Jesus and their own cross. But it is especially important when life is most painful to remember what discipleship really is. Discipleship is simply the taking up of one's cross, dying to self in obedience to Jesus for the sake of Jesus, expecting a full compensation from Jesus. The cross is not an abstract concept. The cross involves a willing dying to myself in real life circumstances for the sake of Christ's redeeming love, fully expecting his generous compensation. The cross of Jesus involved the suffering of real grief, real despair, and real loneliness for the sake of redeeming love. Our cross will involve these things too. The cross of Jesus involved the forsaking of real friends, the experience of real betrayal, the endurance of real injustice because of obedience. So will ours. The cross of Jesus involved real tears, real sweat, real wounds, real blood, real pain, real humiliation, real sacrifice, and the bearing of real sin, the real sin of real people for the sake of our redemption. Our cross will feel just as real. You see, God's way of healing our marriages, our homes, our churches, and our mission fields is through the cross. Victory comes through the laying down of our lives. If we won't take up the cross, we will never see the abundant life that Jesus promises. If we lay down the cross and walk away, we can only suffer loss. But full identity with the cross of Jesus will produce a fullness of hope in life's most crushing circumstances. It did for Jesus, and it will for every Christian spouse, parent, pastor, and missionary too.